Hey YouTube, welcome to another video. In this episode, we'll continue to work on the next generation LAN configuration. Okay, so just a quick review. This is the next generation LAN configuration. Okay, but we're not going to work on this design. Instead, we'll use this design. It should be the same, but I just have the table here. Much better laid out. So the idea is to shape the next generation LAN configuration into following this table, okay, which is coming from the new generation LAN configuration. Having said that, if you're new to Omada, if you're new to networking, if you're new to Wi-Fi, SSID, VLANs, I highly suggest you watch the previous episodes with regards to the new generation LAN configuration. This next generation LAN configuration is more strict and very hard to follow if you haven't seen the previous episodes. If you are familiar with the next generation LAN configuration but haven't seen the previous episodes, I highly suggest you watch the first one and the second video just to catch up. If you have time, watch some of my musings with regards to the next generation LAN configuration because it covers some of my thoughts and ideas about how I do this type of design and how I present this to you as the viewers. Okay, so just a quick recap of the next generation LAN configuration of where we are right now. We are done with the admin, we are partially done with the home, mainly because we still haven't implemented the IoT. We're done with the guest and we're done with the camera VLAN. So the top half is done, except for the home, which is partially done because we'll still have to demonstrate how home actually access the IoT VLAN, because you can see other VLANs, it's checked as yes. And we'll also have the IoT do a granular access to the home VLAN later on. Okay, so I'll relegate this video just for the IoT and all sections, columns related to IoT in here and complete the home VLAN finally. Okay, so we have all of these VLANs. As you can see here, we have done ACLs up to the camera. Even though this doesn't have any specific ACL check mark to them, you should be familiar that all of these are isolated VLANs right now. Okay, and we have to shape them using the doorway ACLs. The 99 Doom, we're not going to touch it in this video because I just use it to demonstrate what happens if you create a freshly new VLAN. Okay, so for the wireless networks, it's the same. There's no change so far. Okay, and I'll skip the network security. I'll go with the profiles. So these are the groups that we have created. Although in this particular series of videos, I don't go to this section to create my groups. I usually do the groups in the network security portion of the video or the configuration. Okay, let's go with the services. Services, nothing new, nothing has been added, nothing has been changed. So let's go with the devices. There's no change in the devices. I haven't updated the firmware because I want to make sure that what I tested in the past will still work here. So I'm not sure if the new firmware will affect the functionality. And for the clients, I still have these 5 clients in here. This is the custom DNS server we'll use for one of the use case later on in the video. This is one of the Raspberry Pi. This is in the IoT VLAN. This is the OC300 controller. You can see here it's the same IP. Okay, and you can see the icon there. That means I'm logged in to the console. This is the Pi machine that you can see on the mini video down below on the lower left section of the screen. And this is the media. As you can see, this is my admin PC. This is in the admin VLAN. Okay, this is the admin VLAN. There you go. I also have the VNCs ready in here. Okay, so also in this one, I cannot connect to the IoT VLAN for the time being, but we'll cover the IoT VLAN as well. I also have the Omada cloud version of the controller in case I will need that for demonstration later on. Okay, so let's go with the ACLs. Let's go with the meat and potatoes of this video. Okay, so we have all of these ACLs so far, covering the top half of the table. Okay, let me turn off this one just to show you the other VNC that I have. So there you go. So this is the IoT VLAN. Okay, so I have these two VNCs here. Okay, so let me close this and let me close this. Okay, and we'll do that. So let me just turn it on again. Now this will prevent me from getting here. Go. And I should be able to do that. So that's how it is right now. Okay, so let's proceed with this one. So for the IoT VLAN to be implemented, it has internet, it has peers and neighbors, no access to the management VLAN. This should be okay as far as the isolation is concerned. We don't have access to the other VLAN. This should be okay as far as the isolation is concerned. So what we need to do is permit the internet, neighbors, and then granular access later on. Okay, so let's do that. So you should be familiar with the in VLAN command now. So okay, IoT, permit, select all. I don't have to do bidirectional, and I'm going to scroll the screen a little bit higher so you guys can see it. So the in VLAN is basically you select both the same source and destination, and I call it in VLAN communication. Okay. Okay, so create. There you go, and we have to bring it up like that. So now we have IoT. Let's do a quick test of the IoT. Let's go check. Have ports in here. We have port 5 as an IoT open slot, and this one is port 7. This is one of the port where my Raspberry Pi is connected. So if you are looking at the main screen, this is the port 5 that is open right now. I'm going to transfer my PC here, my admin PC, and start connecting to the IoT VLAN, and to show you that I can connect there. Okay, so I'll show that I cannot connect here, okay, prior to the creation or transfer of cable. But in here, let's do ping. I'm gonna ping the Raspberry, the home VLAN. I'm gonna ping the IoT VLAN. So later on, once I transfer my cable here, it should start deploying. This one should be internet. Okay, so you can see I have internet here, and let's show here as well. Here, this one, and I wanna show this portion as well. Here, so here, here. So now, okay, so look at the lower left on the mini screen. I remove my cable. You can see the top 3 consoles. There will be changes to that one. All of them will have an error. Okay, and you will see the network connection windows on the lower right. It's disconnected, and I'm going to connect it to port 5 here. Now once I connect it here, I will be in the IoT VLAN. Okay, so this will start deploying. This will start deploying. This will still be not deploying because this is in a different VLAN. Okay, and as you can see here, I have internet. I am in the IoT VLAN now. Okay, so I'm simulating a in VLAN communication. I'm using my PC as one of the IoT device, and I'm going to connect to the IoT device that we have earlier, which I cannot connect to earlier, this one. So right now you can see I cannot connect to the home, but if I connect here, there you go, I can connect to the IoT VLAN without any issue. Okay, okay, so that's how it's supposed to work. Okay, and let me go back to the admin VLAN. So let me just go back here, and here, so that you can see that now that I'm transferring it back here to the admin VLAN. Okay, I should restore my communication with the home VNC on the lower left screen. This one, I should restore that one. This one should start deploying. Both of them should start not replying because I cannot reach both of them anywhere from the admin VLAN unless I wanted to. Okay, okay, so it's restored. Let me close this. Okay, and let's proceed with another use case in here. Okay, so now we can do another use case here which is the admin access to the IoT, because that's part of the new generation LAN configuration. Let's do just that. Security. Okay. Before I create that one, let's do just that again. This is how it works right now. I'm in the admin VLAN. I cannot connect to the IoT, but I can connect to the home VNC. Okay, so, but what I'm going to show you is how you group your ports together, your VNCs together, protocols together in a simple way. This I just want to share that you don't have to do it line by line as I have done in the past, with especially in the new generation LAN configuration. But for this particular video, I'll just demonstrate that. Normally, I will not do it this way, but I just want to show it this way to you, that you can do it this way. Okay, okay, let me go bring that up. Okay, so that will be IoT VNC 192.168.90.1. I will use /24 because I would like to get access to however many, 255 devices, 254, 300. Okay, devices. Let's to create. Okay. So if I click here the IoT VNC, what will happen now is I will now have access to the IoT VNC. There you go. Okay. The reason why I don't want to group them together is that once I turn it off, I cannot access both the home VNC, so I lose that granularity basically. As you can see, I cannot access any of them. Okay, so, and if I would like to just access one, I cannot. I have to go here and edit it, and then check and uncheck whichever I want to have denied or permitted. This is the reason why I usually have all of them on a normal situation and a normal scenario. On my own use case, I will have them on separate ACL line. Okay, but for the purpose of this video and showing that you can do that, I'll keep it this way. Okay, so admin VLAN can always access the IoT. It's the IoT that we're giving access to traffic to the admin VLAN, and I'm going to show that again in another example, because one of the use case in this table is that home will always have access to the IoT. So the way we do that is we create a permit home to IoT ACL. Okay, so you can see I didn't specify anything on the name. It's because it's the whole network of home to IoT that's we're planning to do. We don't need a bidirectional as well, so this one will be home. Okay, we would like to have the home to IoT. Okay. Okay, so let me drag it up there. This one home have access to all the IoT. However, the VNC will not work from home to IoT just because the IoT is not being allowed back to home, and I'm going to show that to you guys. Okay, so right now I'm being allowed here, and I'll keep it like that way. I'm being allowed here. I'll keep it here as usual, and I'm going to transfer my cable to one of the, let's do that. So I'm going to transfer this admin PC in port number 3. So if you're looking at the screen, port number 3, this is the home VLAN. I'm going to transfer my cable here. Now this PC will be part of the home VLAN, and as you will notice, so this VNC will get disconnected. Okay, so let's go look at our debug screens first. Let's see how it's doing. Now I'm transferring the cable here, so you will see those changes there. Now I will maintain access here later on. Okay, it regains, but I will not be able to regain connectivity here. Now I will lose access to the ACL, so I will have to go to the cloud. Let's refresh this. Let's refresh it. So this permit home, okay, this permit home to IoT. It allows all traffic, no matter what the ports, to go to IoT. But because of this line here, the IoT cannot go back to home. So what we need to do is allow the VNC traffic to go back to home. So I can do the ACL command here, but in my experience, it takes so long. So I'm just gonna go back to the admin VLAN here, okay, and I will do the configuration at the local connectivity here. Okay. Network security, ACL. Let's close this for a bigger screen. Okay. Okay. So what we're going to do is allow the VNC traffic to go back to home, because right now home is allowed to IoT, but IoT is not allowed to home. Because there's no stateful ACL, you have to allow bidirectional communication. Okay, so let's do just that. Permit. Let's permit IoT to home. Okay, I'll just do just that. IoT ports. I'll make it generic. That means it's specific ports only, not the whole thing. Okay. So as you can see how it's going, the way I rename these things, you will have an idea of how I'm going to configure this, right? So ports to home, that means that the target is the home, and it should be IP port group. We already have the IoT VNC, so all we have to do is select this one, create. So right now, again, like I said, in here it should be okay because I'm in the admin VLAN. So, but the big difference is now that once I change this here, okay, you will see in all my devices here that I got disconnected, I got disconnected here. Okay, so let's just wait for both of these to get disconnected. Okay. Okay, this one got disconnected, the home IoT, but I'm disconnected here. You can see I cannot click anywhere here, but let's just wait. There you go, got disconnected. So now that I will put it here, both of them will get reconnected if we did everything right in the ACL. Okay, just waiting time now. Let's check if I did get the home. There you go, I got it there. This one is taking a while, so let me close this. Might be the traffic. Let's try it again. Okay, so let's do oh, okay, sorry about that. So it's because I only list this one, I didn't see the 11th page, and now I'm in the home VLAN. I don't have access to it. Okay, so hold on. Rookie mistake. And go page. So see, it's in here. You should always put it there. So it's a good reminder that we did it incorrectly. We didn't do it allow here. So you know why it didn't work. So it should work now. There you go. And it should work now, both. And currently I'm in the home VLAN, as you can see here. The IP address 10.101, and as you can see, my tab is here. Okay, so let me go back to this one. Okay, and let's go back to this screen. So as you can see, this one is showing a bug. It's showing 1 to 11 of record, but there's only 10. Alright, so let's refresh it a bit. That's why it got me confused earlier. I thought everything was packaged in between. So now it shows that everything is in between. So now you can see here everything is in between. Okay. See. So okay, so we have addressed this. Now home have access to the isolated. And let's do another example just to make sure that you guys see that again. I will do an SSH. Now that I'm back to the admin VLAN, I can do it much easier now. Let's do that. Let's do that. SSH pi at 192.168.90.100. So this one will not work. SSH pi 192.168.10.100. So I'm going to SSH to both of them, vice versa, but I cannot. As you can see here, I cannot. Okay, we will allow one-way communication from home to IoT. So home to IoT, let's do that. Home, we already have the home to IoT here, so that should be covered already. But in here we have IoT to home, but only for BNC. And remember, this is IoT ports. So before I complete this, I just want to make sure I clarify this again. I'm only doing this for the purpose of the video and showing that you can group ACLs together, ports together for for whatever reasons you might have, for simplicity, for shorter list of ACLs. But normally I would like to have them one by one. Okay, so let's do that. Let's edit this one and let's create an IoT SSH. And I'm only using SSH as an example here. You can use FTP, RTSP, SMTP, whatever protocols you might want or use. In fact, you can edit the existing one and add the SSH port, but we don't want to do that to further complicate things. So IoT SSH 1 then /24. There are multiple ways to achieve this. So now you can see I'll just click IoT SSH here, apply. So let me refresh. So this one, I think this one, okay. So let's go back to this screen. As you can see, this one has timed out and this one has timed out, right? So let's do that again. In here from IoT to home, this shouldn't work. This still shouldn't work because you're only allowing home to IoT. So this one's not working, but this one, look at this one. There you go. Even say yes. Yes. And let me enter my password. And now you can see I'm in Pi machine, now in Pi desk. And if I check my IP, I'm in the 192.168.90.100, which is the same as this one. Okay. So if I do IP add here, I should show 190.100. Okay. So let me exit of this one and look at this prompt here. It becomes a Pi machine. Okay. And let me do the command again. I guess I don't have that command. And you can see now that I'm back to the 9168.10.100. So that's how SSH works, and you can create a new port group here like this. So in here I have separate one, right? I have separate one. There's no one stopping you from saying IoT ports. There's no one stopping you from doing this. I'm just showing to you. I'm not going to use this, but okay, /24, and you can do 22, 5900, and then 5800. No one stopping you from doing this. Okay. Okay. So, okay, one of the use case in the new generation LAN configuration, because remember, the home is allowed to IoT, but IoT is not allowed to initiate communication to home. One of the use case in the new generation LAN configuration is that IoT will be able to initiate connection only for a specific server in the home, which is the AdGuard server. Now this time around, your Raspberry Pi or IoT device will reach out to one of the device here in the home VLAN, because you would like to block their traffic, you would like to check which URLs they're visiting, you would like to, basically it's up to you, whatever you want to do. In this particular case, it's IoT to a DNS server, but there could be a different server in another VLAN, right? It could be a whatever server, Plex, any server that with routable protocols. So let's do just that. Let's go back here to the network configuration and let's look at the clients. So I would like my IoT to communicate to the home lab server. Okay, so how do we do that? So let's go here to the configuration again. And not just one or two machines. I would like all my IoTs to connect to the custom DNS server. Okay, so this is getting a little bit annoying. I'll just show it to you here in case my mini video is blocking it. So that's how it is so far. So now I will permit IoT DNS to home as well. Okay, permit, select all. If it is not in the home VLAN, you have to do bidirectional. I don't do bidirectional here because I have home always being approved or allowed access to the IoT. I want to make sure I clarified that line item here because it's a little bit of a different use case. Okay, so now I would like IoT to connect to a specific machine in the home server. So this is home DNS server. The IP address is 192.168.10.75. Remember, this IP, we'll use that for testing purposes, but I use it /32. Why? Because there are two DNS servers in this VLAN, in this 192.168.10 VLAN. Okay, this is a home VLAN because there is a 192.168.10.75 and 192.168.10.1 as the DNS server, and DNS server use port 53. Okay, so I'll create this one and home DNS server and then create. Okay, now that I can see it, I can drag it here. Okay, so now as you can see here, that's how it looks so far. Permit IoT DNS, okay, to home. Okay, so how do we demonstrate that one? Okay, let's do that again. So let's turn it off for the time being. Okay, so I can demonstrate it properly. So right now the ACL is turned off. Okay, let me look at the OBS. It's turned off. In here you can see this one is turned off. Okay, so I'm using NSLookup and then google.com and then google.com. You can see here that this particular machine is using the gateway IP 192.168.90.1 as its DNS server. The same for this one, 192.168.10.1 as the DNS server. But I'm going to use a custom DNS server in here, which is the .75, and I'll connect to google.com, and you will see it now that it's using 192.168.10.75, that port 53. And if I do the same thing here, and I do google.com, it will not work because it's being blocked. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is allow it. Okay, going to allow this one. Okay, and let's check this one. So now let's do that. You can see it's connection timed out. Let's do it again. Should work now. See? So let's do it again with off, and let's wait until time out. So let's do that again. Google.com. So waiting. Connection timed out. Let's turn it on. Okay. Google.com. There you go. Now, can I use a different server in there? Let's say 192.168.10.1. Okay, and I'll do google.com. You see, it's not working here. But if I type it here, it works. However, this one cannot use the other DNS server. So the IoT VLAN can communicate to the home, but only to a specific server. That way you are doing a precision traffic shaping, precision ACL, however you want to call it, but I call it precision ACL, or precision blocking and precision doorway ACL. So you can mix and match all of this to however your network is configured, right? Okay, so with this, we pretty much accomplished the admin VLAN being able to access everything, home being able to have access to everything in the IoT only. Okay. However, you have to remember, in order to allow that capability, you always have to configure the IoT to respond back to a specific port. Okay. And then it has granular access as well, as demonstrated with the VNCs and SSH as well. And the same thing for IoT, we can access the DNS server in the home, so it has granular access to the DNS server, but it cannot, other than that, cannot access anything else. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for this episode. On the next episode, we'll discuss the isolated and the secluded, and a bonus segment for that particular episode. Thank you very much for watching the video. I hope this one is very useful for you. I think this is very interesting to have this capability in Omada. I haven't seen anything like this, the next generation or new generation LAN configuration, in any of the YouTube videos. So I really hope that you learned something from this, and that you like this series of video. If you like it, please give it a like. If you dislike it, please give it a dislike, but give me some suggestions why you dislike it, and I will try my best to improve. I'm not saying it's gonna get better, but I will look into how I can improve based on that suggestion. Sometimes if I improve, it gets worse. So, something that I need to work on. Anyway, please like, subscribe. Definitely helps my channel. Anything helps making YouTube know that this video exists, and it gets this promoted to other viewers as well. So hope to see you in the next video. Thank you, and bye bye.